Hi, we would like to walk you through a very simple demo showcasing how Informatica can add real value to our mutual customers while using Snowflake and Informatica's vast suite of products along the way. Now, I know we talked about this earlier, but let's come back to this. Modern data strategy requires two things: a place to store data and a tool to do data cleansing, data governance, do data quality and NME work. And so with that, Snowflake allows us to do a lot of collaboration and application and analytics and acting off of data or discovering new solutions for data. But Informatica is really what powers all of that. And so when we think about Informatica and Snowflake, there's two different places where Informatica and Snowflake really work. First, we need to land the data in Snowflake in its rawest form so that we have a single source of truth. And then we need to process it, apply MDM rules, do data quality, all of this sort of thing that allows us then to write it out to Snowflakes where analysts will then use it in their analysis in Power BI or Tableau, or push it out to other target systems like SaaS applications, for example, Salesforce or HubSpot or MailerLite, anything like this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to show you what the results of Informatica are going to be in Snowflake, and then talk a little bit about what this will mean to your customers. So let's take a very simple e-commerce example. First, what we're going to do is we're going to import all of our customer profiles that we've stored in Salesforce or CRM or anything like that. We're going to get all their data that we've collected over time. And as we can see right here, there are multiple entries throughout all of this with various information that we don't know whether to trust, and we can't really take any analytics on it. So we're going to point our Informatica MDM solution at this, apply some business rules, and get down from the 1,000 rows that we have down to 100 users, right? Real simple. We have them all cleaned up. We know how old they are, where they live, what their email addresses is, all very important stuff. And then what we're going to do, using again another Informatica ingestion process for real-time processing from our websites, we're going to look at what the transactions look like by users for this solution. Right? And so now we have a count of all of these transactions. And this is helpful to do analysis, and the great thing about Snowflake is that you can then use their pre-built machine learning capabilities to do analysis and segmentation and further information on that. But we're going to look at something very, very simple. How much money did they make us, right? And so to do that, we're going to use our MDM users and our e-commerce transactions, right? So our golden records via our transactions. And we're going to look at a single day in March and run that. And with that, we get a number of different things. So we get all of our people who actually bought things, how many items they bought, and how much money they made us. But then we also saw that a number of people had saved items in their during their visit to our website, or they had shared items, or they had simply viewed things. So we're going to assume that if you shared or saved something, you probably had intent to buy, but for whatever reason, you didn't make a purchase. So if we wanted to do, say, what are our follow-up opportunities there by zip code for our local retail operations or for a mailing campaign, something like that, we can do again against via our clarified records, and we can then do really cool segmentation. So for example, by zip code here, right? And so now we see by zip code in New York City, how many people saved items, how many people shared items, and how many people viewed items. And that's great. But what's the next step? The next step is to push this out to one of our CRMs and start an email campaign. So we're going to say, if you live in this zip code in Manhattan, we're going to go ahead and give me all the email addresses that have already been coming from our Customer 360 MDM solution. and we're going to get their email addresses, and then we'll sort it by salary because we're going to assume they have more disposable income, and then age because we might do different targeting based on age ranges. And then we have it. Now we have 12 users that we can target very successfully by our email campaigns, follow-up campaigns of people who have saved items. Maybe they need just a little bit of push. And so with Informatica and Snowflake together, we have created a solution that helps us clean up our data, identify how much revenue we made so that we can do our bookkeeping, but then also quickly identify, based off of those golden records, who we should target and start doing A/B testing for follow-up emails and that sort of thing. So now when we look at the overall architecture, right, this is very similar to what we've done in a number of different clients. You can see that Informatica sits at every single point during the process, right? Landing the data into our raw zone or our bronze area, doing data quality, data management, all that sort of stuff to bring our data into our silver. And then for our gold data, our data that we're going to do actions off of, that we're going to pass to our analysis and all of that, the data management services, consolidation, publication, data lineage, data governance, that's all going to go back into our Snowflake modeled zone. And then finally, when we want to get that data out to third-party tools, for example, in our e-commerce application, back to our CRM or back to our email tool, our marketing tools, whatever that ends up being, we can then push it out. And for our downstream suppliers, we can also set up an Informatica data marketplace that also has all of these functions and all these business logics that we built all the way through our system. So that's a real quick demo of where LumenData sees Informatica and Snowflake playing together and providing true value to our end users. Right, Customer 360 and MDM is a critical part of any marketing effort. It prevents spam and it allows you to do really concentrated A/B testing in this particular example, but for really any customer outreach. And so with that, I'm going to pass it back to the rest of the team. Thanks so much.